in 2021, McDonald's had a very ambitious idea. They wanted to see if they could automate their drive-through order taking with AI. So what did they do? They threw $300 million to IBM and it was a complete disaster. The entire system failed. Now we're in 2025 and I want to see if I can make an even better system, not with $300 million, not even with $1 billion, but instead with just 50. Now, I don't have an army of IBM engineers, I don't have the resources of a Fortune 500 company. All I have is a decent bit of experience integrating AI into existing businesses. I've already worked with a Fortune 500 company, so I've got a decent advantage to try to make this work. Okay, so before I go and build this, first we need to take a look at what exactly happened and why this system ultimately failed. Alright, so let's look at what exactly happened and why this failed. So like I said, in 2021, McDonald's invests $300 million to partner with IBM, and they bet everything on IBM's AI. They're convinced that this is going to completely change fast food forever, make drive-thrus way more efficient, and they're going to be able to allocate way more workers to the kitchen, and there'll be a domino effect of efficiency that will elapse from this. Once they get a prototype ready, there is an enormous rollout, so 137 locations become guinea pig restaurants, millions of unsuspecting customers become test subjects for broken AI that just simply didn't work. 1 in 6 orders failed. There was 18 million orders that were initially processed over the first few months, but 15% of these orders just completely failed. Just didn't work. So that's 2.7 million angry customers, and some are getting charged for 260 nuggets or even receiving bacon on ice cream, which is absolutely criminal. So McDonald's had promised to revolutionize drive-thrus with faster service and perfect accuracy, harnessing AI, but instead they delivered absolute chaos, refund requests, and their brand reputation absolutely tanked. There were so many videos that were going viral on TikTok. It was a mess. So let's have a look at some of the data now. So the error rate of orders using this new drive-through system was 15%, which is terrible if you consider how many people are actually going to be going through the drive-through on a daily basis. Refund requests went up by 23% and customer satisfaction dropped by 9%. It doesn't take a genius to understand that this is terrible. So all the McDonald's had done is they had bought a $300 million AI system that couldn't count to 10. The AI system started over-ordering nuggets. This was a weird error that kept popping up. The drive-through AI system had reportedly ordered 260 nuggets for one customer, which obviously isn't ideal. The AI system continued to add bacon on ice cream orders, which doesn't make a lot of sense. This just demonstrates poor contextual understanding of food compatibility. It didn't understand, okay, bacon does not go with ice cream. It clearly wasn't trained enough context and it didn't know what humans liked. Probably the worst part of it all is how viral this went on TikTok. A few years ago, this was all over TikTok. So many users were complaining about it, and there were multiple videos getting millions of views that ultimately tanked McDonald's brand reputation. And arguably the worst part of this is the fact that they invested $300 million in this system that didn't work. They lost $47 million in revenue and they had $12 million in write-downs. In other words, they just invested $12 million in things that were completely useless, an utter waste of money. So in 2024, they completely removed the system. They terminated their partnership with IBM and they removed the AI systems completely from all the drive-thrus. Then they reassigned humans back into the drive-thru roles and completely moved away from automation and wanted to stay clear for a while. So the 3 fatal mistakes that this AI system had was insufficient noise filtering. Things like cars and people walking in the background muffled the sound and it wasn't quite able to understand people talking through the mic. This led to obviously very high error rates, wrong orders being ordered, and lots of refunds. This was detrimental to the order processing. It kept getting things wrong. It kept not being able to understand. You know, if you can imagine a drive-through environment, there's going to be lots of other noise going on there. There's going to be cars, engines, planes, people walking, people talking. It's going to be very loud, and the AI couldn't really filter the noise, so it was missing orders, it was ordering the wrong thing. This was a serious flaw in the system. So it had a lack of conversational memory. Each customer utterance was processed independently without retaining context. So every new item that a customer ordered, it couldn't remember what it just ordered. This probably explains the bacon and ice cream and why it was getting orders mixed up so frequently. You know, multi-turn dialogues were not understood, and if you had, say, one person ordering one order from like the front of the car and someone in the back making a separate order, this would completely mess the system up and it would get seriously confused. And arguably the worst part about it all is the system had no error recovery mechanisms. It didn't have any error handlers. So if someone had made the wrong order and they want to say, okay, listen, take this off my order, I want this instead, the system just simply couldn't handle that. And obviously you can imagine how frustrating this would be, and that probably led to a massive drop in customer satisfaction. So these are really important elements that I'm going to have to be cognizant of whenever I'm building my version. I need to make sure that all of these fatal mistakes that IBM and McDonald's couldn't do, I can do. So keep these in mind as we move forward. So the question is, can I do better with $50? McDonald's failed with $300 million and an army of IBM engineers, but can an AI agency owner with $50 in tool do better? Let's find out. Okay, so the very first thing I needed to do was find a good voice AI provider. So I went on and I asked ChatGPT, and there was loads of things that came up, but Vappy was the one that stood out the most. Looking at the strengths and the weaknesses, it was the one that I decided to go for. So I asked ChatGPT, tell me why Vappy is the best one that I should go for. And ultimately, what it was saying here, it was just speaking my language. It was literally saying you could interrupt it. It was really easy to tie in different models. So Vappy was the one that I decided to go with. So I went on, I looked up Vappy.ai, and I went on to create an account. I signed up, and once I was in, the first sort of thing I was doing is I was just sort of having a look around, reading through some of the documentation, playing around with things, wanted to sort of familiarize myself. I hadn't been on Vappy in quite a long time, and I had no credits, so I had to go on and sort that out. Obviously, I can't do that on video. So then I went, created a new agent, called it McDonald's AI Drive-Through Assistant. No, I didn't say assistant, but there we go. And I went on, and I was just having a quick look around, and then the first thing that I noticed was the first message. So I went to ChatGPT, and I asked it, here, could you please make me a welcome message for McDonald's Drive-Through Assistant? A few came up. I decided to choose this one as it just made the most sense. It sounded the most natural. Then it was time to tackle the system prompt. So I realized that Vappy did have an edit prompt, or like a built-in one, but I decided to go with ChatGPT to get me sort of like a basic draft. So I just said, draft me a basic system prompt for the agent, and then it was really basic. So I actually realized that I had a decent bit of work to do. So I came back in, and the plan was to just basically get Vappy's built-in system prompt writer to sort of like play around with it and make it a lot better. And I was very impressed by the response that it was able to give me. And then I accepted these changes, and the system prompt was pretty much ready to go. A good start. So then I went and I was looking for the McDonald's menu because I realized it needed a knowledge base. So I went on and I realized the best thing I could do is I could get Perplexity, because it is search indexing, to go and look at the McDonald's menu. So that's what I done. What I'm doing here is I'm giving McDonald's the UK McDonald's menu and just saying, okay, please go and sift through it. So it's going to create a knowledge base. It's going to go through, get all of the orders and all of the different menu items, put it into a list. And in the meantime, I was just playing around here with some different settings. I was making sure, there wasn't too long silence time out, bringing the temperature down, putting the tokens a bit higher, just so a full if it was a really long order, it would be able to process the entire order. So Perplexity had made the entire knowledge base, and it took absolutely ages. I had to use the deep research, and then I went and I created a new Google Doc and pasted it in and cleaned it up a little bit. And then I realized I needed all of the prices of the menu, because what I wanted to try to do is have the AI add up at the end. And then it took a wee while, but I was able to get everything with all of the items with the prices beside it. And then I threw it all into the knowledge base. So now the knowledge base created, and I added it into the agent.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
Hi there, could I get 20 chicken nuggets and a Diet Coke?
Just to confirm, you've ordered 20 chicken nuggets and a Diet Coke. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Awesome! Would you like to add any dipping sauces with your chicken nuggets? We have BBQ, sweet and sour, and honey mustard.
Yeah, could I get some ketchup?
I'm sorry, but we don't have ketchup as a dipping sauce for the nuggets. Would you like to choose from the BBQ, sweet and sour, or honey mustard instead?
Okay, I'll have honey mustard. How much is that gonna cost?
Great choice. So that's 20 chicken nuggets, a Diet Coke, and honey mustard sauce. Your total comes to $10.99. Please drive up to the next window for payment. Thank you, and enjoy your meal.
So based off that first run, I was quite impressed. Although it said I had no ketchup, which was incredibly strange, I was overall pretty impressed with how it done. We had a basic knowledge base, a basic system prompt. But anyway, we were cracking on after we still had a good bit of work to do. So I went back to ChatGPT, and the plan was I was just going to make some basic changes to the knowledge base just so it's able to answer a bit more accurately. I went in and I made the changes, and now it was time for me to give it the second test. Hello?
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
Hi there, could I get a Big Mac meal with a large Diet Coke?
Sure. Just to confirm, that's a Big Mac large meal with a large Diet Coke. Would
Yes.
you like to add any fries or maybe a dessert to that?
Yeah, what desserts have you got going?
We have a lovely selection of desserts. You can choose from McFlurries, apple pies, or sundaes. By the way, we have a 99p McFlurry deal today. Would you like to try one?
Yeah, please.
Great choice. So that's a Big Mac large meal with a large Diet Coke and a 99p McFlurry. Just to confirm, is that all correct?
That's all correct. What flavor McFlurries have you got?
We have two delicious McFlurry options, the Oreo McFlurry and the Galaxy Chocolate McFlurry. Which one would you like?
Could I get the honey one?
I'm sorry, but we don't have a honey McFlurry. Would you like
Okay. Here, yeah, just go for the Oreo one.
Perfect. So that's a Big Mac large meal with a large Diet Coke and an Oreo McFlurry. Your total comes to pound 8.89. Please drive on to the next window when you're ready. Thanks.
No worries, thank you. Yeah, so after the second one, definitely much better, and it was really good how I was able to say, listen, we don't have a honey one, but there were still a couple issues, like, for example, it wasn't quite getting the orders correct. You know, you could say something that wouldn't ask if you wanted a meal, it wouldn't say if you wanted it, you know, large or small, and it was asking some strange questions, but ultimately, we're definitely on the right track. I just had to make a few more changes to the knowledge base, to the prompt, tweak some things slightly, and I think we would have had this pretty much nailed. So anyway, after that, I went back, I made some changes to the prompt, I made sure that it said it definitely did have ketchup, I made sure that it was able to run through the orders much better, and the sizes and the meal types, and ultimately, I knew I was nearly done. I just had that there was a lot more going on behind the scenes, but I don't want to drag this out too much longer, but ultimately, I was able to get it pretty close, and this is what I think is definitely the best attempt, the best test run. So have a listen, this is the third test, and you're going to absolutely love this.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
Hi there. Could I get 20 chicken nuggets, not as a meal, and with a Diet Coke?
Just to confirm, you would like 20 chicken McNuggets on their own and a Diet Coke to go with that. Would you like any dips with your nuggets? If so, which sauce would you like? BBQ, sweet and sour, curry, or ketchup?
I'll have ketchup, please.
Great choice. So to recap your order, as such, 20 chicken McNuggets, 1 Diet Coke, ketchup for dipping. Is that all correct?
That's correct, yes. Could I also place another order?
Of course. Please go ahead with your next order. What would you like?
Could I get a Big Mac?
Would you like that Big Mac as a meal or just the burger on its own?
Could I get a large meal?
Perfect. And what drink would you like with your large Big Mac meal?
Could I get a banana milkshake?
Just to confirm, you would like a large Big Mac meal with a banana milkshake. Would you like that milkshake with or without ice?
Without.
Great. So to recap your second order, 1 large Big Mac meal with a banana milkshake, no ice. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Could you just do me a favor and recap both of the meals and the price for each one?
Absolutely. Here's a recap of your orders. 1 first order, 20 chicken McNuggets, not a meal. 1 Diet Coke, ketchup for dipping. 2 second order, 1 large Big Mac meal, 1 banana milkshake without ice. Now let me calculate the total for you. Please hold on for a moment. The total comes to 18.78. Please drive forward to the next window to pay. Thank you.
Wow, Tom, it works. Thank you. Now, realistically, if you went through a McDonald's drive-thru, you would not even notice that, well, you probably might even know it's AI, but you wouldn't be complaining. And as well, I tested it on my phone. It was able to work with not very good sound quality. So I'm absolutely buzzing. I think we've absolutely smashed this challenge. So yeah, folks, we have absolutely smashed that one. All of the 3 errors that it was encountering at the start that we went over in the slideshow, we completely nailed them. It was able to take orders. It was able to handle errors. It was able to come back. It was able to ask follow-ups, try to upsell. Absolutely smashed it. Now, obviously, if something like that was going to be deployed at scale, there would need to be lots of refinement, but I think for $50, not even $50, didn't even cost me $50, it was way less than $50, and about 4 or 5 hours of my time, that is as good as it's going to get. Before we wrap this video up, I want to take this opportunity to say, if you're a business owner and you're looking to get involved with AI, but you don't really know where to start, we have a free learning center in our description. You can get access to it. We have like nearly 100 AI automation templates by now, guides, discount codes, agents, make automations, relevance agents, chatbots, loads of stuff completely for free, loads of value that you can go and get access to. It'll all be in the description, so head down there and check it out. And also, if you are a business and you're interested in some sort of AI system, we have a lead generation system. Feel free to go and check it out. If you have any questions, ask me via my email in the description or via LinkedIn, or you can go ahead and book a call. Calendly link is on the website and also in the description. But you know, I've really enjoyed making this video. I really hope it was valuable. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It was certainly a lot of fun to make. it's really cool to see the contrast between these massive companies and how much money they're willing to spend in AI systems versus when you actually have a specialized skill and you're able to put it to work with some better tools and some better models. It's absolutely crazy. So if you like seeing these sort of videos where I expose big companies and their AI systems, some may work, some may not work, but how I can recreate them on a budget, then please consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate that. So that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.